The CoinDesk Spotlight is brought to you by Nexo, the place to earn on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and more.
So what do the weather and blockchain have in common? Well, AccuWeather has figured it out. The weather data firm is partnering with Chainlink to potentially automate insurance payouts triggered by inclement weather. Joining us now to discuss is Paul Lentz, Business Development Senior Vice President at AccuWeather. Good morning, Paul. So explain to us how weather data can be used on the blockchain and why you're partnering with Chainlink.
Good morning. Good to be here. Chainlink reached out to us because they had certain apps interested in leveraging accurate weather data in order to drive policies related to weather events. And they were looking for the most reliable weather source globally. We have global coverage of weather conditions, forecasts, historical weather data all over the globe. And we've been providing this for over 60 years. So what they're doing is really primarily looking at ways to build insurance contracts that can automatically trigger based on weather conditions. Put in a contract that says if it rains a certain volume over this time or does not rain over that certain volume, you're either going to pay out your policyholders or you're not. So that was kind of the origin of the engagement from Chainlink to AccuWeather.
Hi, Paul. This is a very cool initiative. So can you just explain to people who may not understand this, like why do you actually need blockchain technology for weather? Like what is there a certain problem that you're trying to solve that, you were unable to solve with other tools? I think it would be helpful to understand that better.
Well, from our perspective, it was really the Chainlink application of the data what was really important, because they're using us as an oracle, and they need to have an extremely reliable brand name source for the weather information, because when people are building these contracts that automatically pay out and automatically leverage the data provided, they need to have a highly reliable source of that information. And AccuWeather's been doing this for 60 years and kind of was the first to develop this commercial weather entity, as it were.
Paul, when I first heard this announcement, the first thing that came to my head was, of course, the movie Trading Places, because, as you remember, there was a scene in that, or one of the key moments, of course, was the crop report and the issue of frost in the commodities market. So, how is your data being used in commodities trading right now? The AccuWeather data. Do you know of any major prediction models that are being used for those who trade in commodities? And will that be one of the applications you'll be able to do using Chainlink oracles?
I think it certainly will be. We currently do that with other more traditional forms of data provisioning. And I think that the exact Trading Places example you gave that happens all the time today. We work with a number of major financial institutions to provide them with extremely long-range forecasts built on our extensive models that we produce that look at crop futures, and they are building their own models based on our weather forecast models. So for us as an organization, I mean, this started with Joel Myers 60 years ago, coming out of the meteorological program at State College, Pennsylvania, where he was hand drawing snow forecasts and delivering them to ski resorts. So we've evolved a lot over that time. Our API delivers billions of calls a day to support Android phones, Amazon devices, websites, you name it, including our own owned and operated properties. So this is part of a natural evolution, actually, that AccuWeather needs to take. We're very excited to take as well, because it's another way to reach another audience via a really important new mechanism in the marketplace.
So now you're going to be paid in Link. My understanding is you're going to be paid in the cryptocurrency Link, which is Chainlink's token. Is that in a set Link amount in regular intervals? How does that work? Or every time your data is called, or is it in dollars that are converted to Link that are sent to you? Or how is that fee structured?
The consumers of the data are paying in Link, and it's a consumption model. When they call the API and they're authorized through Chainlink, they're just going to pay us on a consumption model for that. It is a set fee in Link, and it will likely change over time. And we haven't really set the exact timing for which that gets recalibrated or changed over time. But we're really looking forward to getting more deeply into this and seeing what kind of real demand we get and how this grows from there. Because as you pointed out with the crop futures, I think there's a lot of opportunity to grow this. We have hundreds of different data elements related to weather that are either could be a pollen index, could be that a pharma company could be interested in. It could be the first frost. It could be levels of precipitation. There are so many different things that could be applied. And I think as these increasing weather events are happening around us all the time, whether it's the tornadoes that happened last week and or flooding that happens, the implications of climate change on local, hyperlocal climate and the change that occurs in just our weather experiences, I think is going to bring a heightened focus on ways you can try to leverage this information to forecast whatever your business might be going forward.
Are you offering any discounts, even in this using Chainlink? Are you offering any discounts to academia who may want to study the effects of climate change and the effects of all sorts of things on forecasts and going forward? Are you guys are you making that data available to academia at any discounted rate or for free on the blockchain?
On the blockchain, we haven't yet. When those actors come to us, we're happy to engage with that conversation on our current means of distribution, whether it's flat files of historical data or via our API for live weather conditions. We work with a number of different academic institutions in order to provide and power that level of academic study around climate and around weather conditions. So I see no reason why that would be any different just via the blockchain.